Change to protect the innocent.
New Orleans. Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson back at you. It's not Dragnet, it's Drew Brees. It is indeed New Orleans, Louisiana. Yeah, you right. Fantasy Friday edition of the program. I know I'm fired up. Plus this weather, absolutely outstanding. Tough to beat the weather we got going. Plus, it's day 2 of 4 days of French Quarter Festival. That bad boy's going off without a hitch. And we'll continue to do so over the next 2 days. We're going to go live to French Quarter Fest in about 60 seconds. Chef Rob from Loretta's Pralines will join us, not only to start this hour, we'll also get a little, picture painted in the 5 o'clock power hour to start the 5 o'clock power hour. Hey, coming up in about 10 minutes, Fridays with Fletcher Mackel will join us. 5 o'clock power hour, Michael Hecht from Greater New Orleans, Inc. He's in Washington, D.C. We'll find out what's going on, what he's doing up there for us and the city of New Orleans. Masters round 1. Tiger Woods sets a record, most consecutive major cuts made at 24. This guy's just amazing. You can tell he's in pain, has to walk. He's 48. He literally loosens his pants and he's putting on icy hot on his hip and lower back in the middle of the round. Just grinding it out. Had to play some extra holes today because started late yesterday. They had a delay. Just unfortunate. He had an afternoon tee time, the unluck of the draw. So he had 5 holes he had to make up today. So 23 holes today, a long walk. But he's +1. 7-8 shots out of the lead heading into the weekend. Tiger Woods alive, playing good golf. You never know what could happen. The putter gets hot, hits a couple of rounds, shoots a couple of 66s in a row, changes the whole dynamic of this thing. Hey, let's head down to French Quarter Festival. Chef Rob from Loretta's. It's been too long. How you doing, Chef?
Where you at, Corey?
Where you at, Rob? Munching on some pralines? What you got going?
Oh, look, Corey, I just told your producer, my line is about a quarter mile long. This great, awesome weather we're having at First Quarter Fest 2024. And guess what? I was actually listening to your program this week, and you nailed it with the weather, man. You absolutely, positively nailed it. It's like a crisp 75 degrees out here on the river right now.
Yeah, the humidity is ridiculous. 36% humidity. You get a little AC off that river.
Corey.
Yep. Hey, Chef Rob, where are you guys located? Can you hear me, Chef?
Say again, Corey. Go ahead. One more time. I'm sorry.
Where are you guys located out there?
So we're actually on right across from the aquarium on the in front of Spanish Plaza. So we're directly across from the aquarium next to Cafe Dauphine and Larry Morrow's 3 restaurants. Walker's Barbecue. I mean, Corey, you name it. I mean, the menus out here are so awesome, man. And it's funny because earlier you were talking about menus, French Quarter Fest versus menus, Jazz Fest. And like I said, once again, you nailed it. A little piece of heaven out here. It's awesome.
Yeah, Jazz Fest, New Orleans, Southeast Louisiana festival food, French Quarter Fest restaurant food, like Loretta's. What are you guys serving, Rob?
So we have our award-winning stuffed crab beignet, where we use super jumbo lump crab meat. Yes, Corey, super jumbo lump crab meat. We also have our world-famous praline beignet, and I went ahead and bought the praline sweet potato cookie and a praline chuso out here as well.
Boy, your mom would be proud, Rob, huh?
Yes, sir, and I appreciate it, Corey. Thank you so much. Hey, if anybody listening, come on out. Great weather, great food. Corey, the music. I mean, like I say, the lines are long, but we're here till 8, Corey. So there's no reason. Once they get off, come on out here, enjoy some music, some good food. And look, Corey, when I say beautiful people out here, Corey.
Yep, the citizens of New Orleans and the metro area and beyond. Hey, Rob, real quick, anything food-wise out there outside of Loretta's that you've looked at or had a bite of that is a must-get?
Okay, so we got Dauphine, which has the fried ribs. Walker's Barbecue is right next to us. We have the rib room is in our same little area. We got the daiquiri shop right here. And I tell you, Corey, Kingfish Grill, oh my goodness. I mean, it's one area where you have some of the best restaurants in New Orleans serving their best. So if you just come out here across from the aquarium, you get a bite of heaven from 7, 8 different spots. Then you got your Vita beer out here as well.
Hey, Chef Rob, we'll check back with you in an hour, all right?
Looking forward to it, Corey.
That's Rob Harrison from Loretta's Pralines, live from French Quarter Festival. Yeah, you're right. Thank you, Chef. Love it. We'll hook back up with him in an hour. You heard him, just fantastic weather. Lots of people out there. They're rolling till 8, admission free. 270 plus musical acts, 21 stages. I want to say there's 60, I might be wrong, it might be 80 food vendors, drink vendors, dozens and dozens and dozens, safe to say. Wow, what a good time. And boy, Rob's mom, Loretta Harrison, who passed away a few years ago, what a sweet lady from Loretta's Pralines over there on Rampart, right where Rampart turns into one lane, right by the end of by St. Bernard Avenue, by McShay Place, kind of veers into the Marigny Triangle towards Elysian Fields. I think it's actually, it's right across the street. One Bender Bakery right across the street from Loretta's for a while. We'll ask Rob next hour. I think that's Frenchman and Rampart, if I'm not mistaken, in the Triangle. It is, yep. Yeah, the Corporal's giving me a thumbs up. He knows the Triangle. Fantasy Friday edition of the program. French Quarter Fest Day 2. Outstanding weather. It's 75 right now. Blue skies, sunny. I just mentioned to Chef Rob, 36% humidity. You heard me right, 36% humidity. Tomorrow barely warms up. Sunday barely warms up. Might 75 right now. Might hit a high of 77, 78 tomorrow, 78, 79 on Sunday. This morning it was like put on your little vest, put on your little jacket weather, and then it warmed up quick. If you were up at like 6, 7, 7:30, it was cool. You needed like a sweater. And then by 8:30, it was like shedding off the layers. And beautiful sunshine day. Just really tough to beat. Glad we hooked up with Chef Rob from Loretta's. We'll do it again in 1 hour. Hooking up with Flecher Mackel in 5 minutes. Fridays with Fletch. Hooking up with Michael Hecht in an hour in the 5 o'clock powwow. Well, hopefully with some good economic news. Frank Brightson, shorthanded, slammed tonight. I think it's more slam than shorthanded with French Quarter Fest. They are booked up. He's not going to join us in the 5 o'clock powwow, which bums me out because what a week, huh? What a week. So much stuff going on. The Wits in bar chaos and murder, flooding from the rain on Wednesday. Governor Landry, he wants food stamp restrictions, but his grocery bill at the governor's mansion has M&Ms and Laffy Taffy on it. Inspection stickers, a no-go. NAIA, no transgender females competing in women's sports. House Bill 98. Marriage is between two people. In Louisiana, it's still a man and a woman. O.J. Simpson dies. 10 Commandments law. No, a ridiculously busy week. Wears you out. We stay on top of it for you. But on Fridays, we like to chill a little bit at least. Strawberry Festival underway on the North Shore up in Ponchatoula. Are you kidding me? North Shore, South Shore, just kicking butt and taking names. 4 days of French Quarter Fest. Tonight, 2 more days of Strawberry Fest. You can knock them both out and get a pint or 2 of strawberries. So good. Corey Johnson with your Fantasy Friday. Fridays with Fletch next. Don't move. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Did you know Rouse's sells only Angus beef? Angus beef's natural marbling means more succulence and flavor. Whether you choose Rouse's USDA Prime, Choice, or Select, it'll be only Angus beef when you get it at Rouse's. Tastes like home.
River Cities Total Maintenance keeps you cool, New Orleans. NOLAAC.com is your cool spot.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French bread. Leidenheimer.
The French bread of the city of New Orleans. Good to the last crumb. Leidenheimer French bread.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore led us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
What's that? Oh, I don't know. They said something about little man. When you got to resort to like someone's physical size, you know you don't really have a good argument. That poor guy, Flecher Mackel. Absolutely pathetic. Oh, wait, he's live on the air? That's what you're telling me, Corporal? Fletch, what's going on?
No, Corey, I am walking around here at French Quarter Fest right now. So it's a beautiful day here in the quarter and just kind of drinking in the culture, so to say.
Nice. Where'd you chain up your bike so we can let someone know so they can go steal it?
I didn't. I rode here with a friend, so I did not ride the electric bike down, although it would have been a perfect day to be lazy and ride that thing here today.
Fletch, I called you out last week and when you said you went to dinner with some friends. I said you had friends, and you said no, maybe acquaintances. You just used the friend reference again. Are you trying to say it enough where maybe you think it'll become true?
I kind of missed you there for a second. I'm sorry.
You didn't miss much. Where are you at French Quarter Fest? Boy, this seems like this is going to be a crappy segment. Why do I have a feeling if this were Channel 6, Fletch wouldn't be pulling this crap?
That's because that's the real job.
So you're lucky I'm giving you 10 minutes from French Quarter Fest. Is that what I'm getting?
No, I'm happy to be here. I guess I walked through a area of the quarter and lost you. So that wasn't the worst thing in the world, losing you. The call didn't drop, unfortunately, so here we are.
Yep, there you go. You eat anything good today? Listen to anything good today? Or are you just getting in there?
Not yet. Like I said, I kind of just got down here, so I just kind of taking it all in and enjoying it. Nothing yet. Haven't made my way over to the food booths or anything like that yet. You can probably hear some of the music in the background.
Yeah.
But again, look, the weather's perfect. It's packed out here so far, and I am just kind of getting the afternoon and evening started.
Hey, are you guys continuing the Margaret Orr's retiring thing for the next 6 months, or was the week it?
No, it was a 1 week deal.
Okay.
2 weeks ago. So
just checking.
It was a blitzkrieg of Margaret Orr, if you will, which I think she was deserving of. I mean, 45 years is a long time. And so 2 weeks ago, every day was dedicated to Margaret Orr and then a half-hour special. And now we are, moseying on.
We've got the naturally known Frank Davis Bridge. Maybe the high-rise can be named after Margaret Orr.
Maybe so. That would be good. I think I've told you before, or you told me, and I stole it, and now I just think it's my own. So, is the Blue Bridge on Bayou St. John? I feel like should be named Gleason Bridge because he and Michelle got married there, and Blue Bridge just seemed silly. But you're right. Maybe we could have something named after Margaret Orr. Why not?
Yeah, I think, what is that neighborhood? I think that is actually known as the Magnolia Bridge. Like, that's the name of it. It's like, really? Yeah, it should be the Michelle and Steve Gleason Bridge. Just Gleason Bridge. You're talking about by Cabrini High School on Bayou St. John, the now pedestrian bridge. Yep. It's amazing that you were listening and remember that I was the first mover on that. I'm shocked.
It's true. And then I saw yesterday, I should have, I guess, given you more credit.
Kaboom.
For your whole live
Kaboom.
to New Orleans deal. I didn't realize you were on the tip of the spear with that.
We discussed it once on a Friday, but maybe we were heading into a break. You didn't really grasp it. I mentioned something about UNO, 6,800 students, major cutbacks in athletics financially. That's a story you need to go do. I'm trying to throw you these bones, these exclusive breaking stories. LIV coming to New Orleans. What do you know about it, Fletch? English Turn, City Park South. I mean, those are the only options. They'd have to go to the North Shore or Baton Rouge or something otherwise, I would think.
Well, one, it's not official, but I do know, as that we reported yesterday, that they have officially explored and contacted people here in hospitality, tourism type, places about having a live golf event here because they had one last year at Las Vegas Country Club when the Super Bowl was in Las Vegas, and Liv sort of kind of co-op, the Super Bowl's like big event with all the business people and the celebrities, and they did a event there. So since the Super Bowl is here next year and the Liv PGA merger doesn't look like it's close, and even if it happens, 2025 may remain intact from a schedule standpoint for both. But the things I did learn are this. I mean, it can't be City Park South because they're tied in with the PGA, and English Turn has dates blocked off. Now, some mixed stories about that is, they had blocked dates off because they're working with city leaders here, and the Super Bowl needs certain golf courses in case their corporate partners want tournaments. But, everybody has a price and a threshold. And, obviously Liv has deep pockets. So if there was a way to find, a course for them to play in it was English Turn. I mean, obviously English Turn hosted the event from 89 to 04 and again in 06 after Katrina. But I will say this, if somebody told me, Liv has played some pretty terrible courses, it doesn't matter where they play. They'll find some place in, Dustin Johnson will shoot 40 under. If they want to have an event here, they're going to have an event here and just overpay for everything, even if it's on the North Shore or someplace where you're like, holy cow, Phil Mickelson and John Rahm are playing there. It's, that's kind of what they've had to resort to. It's kind of exhibition golf.
No, it almost is, but that would be good for the city. Selfishly, I just play golf, and I would like to see, if LIV does it, Fletch, they're going to come in, September, October, and they're going to dump hundreds of thousands of dollars into that golf course to get it ready for that, February date. And I would like to see like English Turn. You make a good point. So City Park South is out because of the connection to the PGA Tour and Zurich and in the investment in that.
Yeah, that's out.
Yeah, that's
TPC
interesting.
TPC Louisiana's out.
Yeah, of course, because the Zurich's there.
And the TPC has a contract with Bayou Oak, so they're out. And then you look and you say, well, where are the championship courses? Well, really, there's one that housed or was the home of the PGA.
Yeah, it's the only one you could do it is English Turn. I mean, you could go Country Club of Louisiana in Baton Rouge. You might be able to pull something off at like.
Becomes it's not Live Golf New Orleans.
No, exactly. Or in Mandeville, you could just sort of say Metro New Orleans. No, English Turn, you're in New Orleans proper. You can get the shot from the blimp of the skyline of the city of the Superdome from the course. And English Turn, like you said, is a PGA course.
And look, I'll say this, and maybe maybe it's Money Hill on the North Shore. Maybe they got a brand new hotel in Covington. Maybe, Liv rents the whole thing out and can, bus their players in or helicopter them in some lavish way for parties and stuff here.
Yep.
They play on the North Shore. I don't think they've gotten that far. I think that they just, last year, they knew the Super Bowl was in Vegas. They wanted to have an event in Vegas. They did it the week of the Super Bowl. Again, the Super Bowl is here next year. Liv is a little bit more about trying to be a show, trying to find some footing and some relevancy. So I don't know where they would play it. And again, I certainly think English Turn would be an option, but I've heard conflicting reports. Some people telling me English Turn would do everything to get it. Others saying they'd honor whatever deals they have.
I think if LIV is going to dump hundreds of thousands of dollars in a few months into your golf course, they're going to cancel whatever commitments they had. Here's the thing. That has to be the case, Fletch, because the only course that's like TPC quality is like Metairie Country Club, like a private course. And professional golfers would, even with those greens, would probably just destroy that course. They'd be driving par fours and hitting par fives, driver wedge. It would get ridiculous. I mean, if it's an English Turn, a course that could, quote, pull it off, it needs investment before it's tour ready. Anyway, you're right. It's a ways off. Hey, Kim Mulkey talking, crying a little bit, getting very emotional. A very trying year, apparently, for Kim Mulkey. And you think about all the things, a lot of it does add up to a pretty trying year. Lots of things going down.
Yeah, and look, like I said, is all of it fair? Absolutely not. Is some of it self-inflicted? Absolutely. I mean, here's the thing. You can't be somebody always told me this, you can't be the arsonist and the firefighter. And so she created some of the fires that she's had to put out and has created a little bit of the drama. I mean, look, she's the one who suspended Angel Reese. Or Angel Reese didn't suspend her, but wouldn't talk about why she was away from the team and became combative about it and turned it into a spectacle. Same is why Qatari Pool left the team. Don't talk about it. Like even last night, I read Reed Darcy, who does a good job covering the team, saying that she said like all the lies I've had to deal with. But when he asked her what lies, she's like, well, I'm not talking about that. It's like, well, then,
right.
So like, again, I do think some of it has been unwarranted. Like obviously the LA Times article was unwarranted. And you could make the argument that like, did the Washington Post have to go talk to her estranged husband? Those things I get to an extent of, maybe it's a little invasive or maybe it's something out of her control, but some of the distractions and spectacle was her own doing. And so it's hard to kind of completely sympathize with someone, because of the situation they created. So I think Kim Mulkey's one of the greatest coaches to ever coach women's basketball and one of the greatest coaches, period.
Hey, Fletch, hang on a sec. Hang on. I'm going to take a quick break. We're going to come right back. Flecher Mackel's at French Quarter Fest. Going to let him finish up that thought. And the Pels, what are they doing
Ladies
next?
and gentlemen, in this Lamar Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations, New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
For Leidenheimer Baking Company, producing the perfect French bread is more than a vocation. It's a sacred mission. And for 5 generations, they've used the same time-honored process, baking their signature loaf with its crisp crust and delicate center, unique and still good to the last crumb. From the finest French Quarter restaurants to your local po' boy shop, for over 125 years, New Orleans' own Leidenheimer.
1970 was an exciting time in New Orleans. The first Jazz Fest was held, the city hosted its first Super Bowl, and the first Helm Paint location opened on Earhart Boulevard. While the floppy disks, mood rings, and pet rocks may have come and gone since the 70s, Helm Paint has grown to become your premier source for quality Benjamin Moore products, competitive pricing, and personal service. Please visit one of our locations today and we'll meet our competitors' prices on any identical product. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
You know, I've never, ever bought any mayonnaise in my life but Blue Plate mayonnaise. Nothing else, ever. I've never bought a jar or squeeze bottle of any other mayonnaise in my life but Blue Plate mayonnaise. Now, some of you are like, man, I go to my grocery store, I don't see it on the shelf. No, you don't see the Blue Plate mayonnaise with the old label on your shelf anymore. It's there. It's always been there. New look, same legendary taste. New label, same great Blue Plate mayonnaise inside that jar or squeeze bottle. Blue Plate mayonnaise, the good stuff. Fridays with Fletcher Mackel joins us. Fletch, you are finishing up on your Kim Mulkey thoughts and whatever.
No, I was just saying that, look, I really like, I'm a Kim Mulkey fan. I like Kim Mulkey. I think she's, when your players, old, like that used to play for you, older players that have now graduated and gone on to life, younger ones, white, black, rich, poor, when they, the large majority of them talk about how great she was, how great she is, that speaks volumes to me. I mean, like Flecher Johnson, Angel Reese, they have, like, they are, like ride or die with Kim Mulkey. That says a lot to me. And obviously she can coach, she can motivate, she can recruit, she knows the game. All of that, like, I have the utmost respect for her. I don't necessarily love sometimes the attacks on the media, the you guys lie type things, but like that gets under my skin because I take what I do seriously and I'm a professional.
Yeah.
And I don't like that kind of stuff. So sometimes I feel like, I'm sympathetic to certain things they have to deal with because she can be a lightning rod for a lot of attention, good and bad. But there are other situations that she exacerbates that probably don't need to be what she makes them into.
Fletcher Mackel's with us live from French Quarter Fest, Fridays with Fletch. Hey, Fletch, the Pels, the 6th seed, Golden State tonight, season winding down. They need to stay at that 6th seed, right?
Yeah, they do. They like the season to me is a letdown if they're in the play-in. They're at 48 wins. They have a chance to win 50 games for only the second time in franchise history. To me, you should be clear of the play-in tournament. You should. And so I get it. The West is an insane dogfight this year. That last year 48 wins would have gotten you a 5 seed. This year, 48 wins is going to get you the play-in. I get it. So the West is crazy, and so but I do think that homestand they just had where they went 1-5 was a disaster. If they can finish winning 5 straight or 4 or 5 and have a week off before they have to play in the playoffs, that would be a really significant step for this organization. And look, you realize this. Seeing Zion in the playoffs full strength is going to be important because we've never seen that, Yeah,
no, you're right. Where the team is, it's do or die. There's we're resting him. No, exactly. Tonight at Golden State, and then what? Lakers at the Smoothie King Center Sunday?
Yeah, and here's the thing. If the Pelicans win tonight and the Suns lose, the Pelicans are in. They're 6th, and Sunday's game will be meaningless.
Nice.
If so there could be a chance that game will be kind of a victory tour. Zion can play a quarter and get a curtain call.
Yeah, that would be great. Lock and load that 6th seed tonight with a little help. That'd be sweet.
Right. That's what I hope happens. And it will feel like, okay, we accomplished something. We're free and clear of the play-in. We now get, 8 days off before we have to play again. And we can get Brandon Ingram back and rested. We can mentally take a break, physically take a break, instead of having to run the gauntlet that is the play-in.
Boy, Tiger Woods like loosening his pants and applying, icy hot to his hip and lower back in the middle of the Masters. This guy's in some serious pain, Fletch, and just grinding away. He's 1 over for the tournament. He's even par. He had to play 5 holes from yesterday, and because they played in the afternoon, it was delayed. Nighttime stopped him on like 14. Had to play 5 holes plus the second round today. He shot. He's even par today. 1 over for the tournament. There are 90 golfers, Fletcher. There are 9 of them that shot under par today. There are 11 more that were even. So 70 golfers of the 90 were over par today at Augusta. And DeChambeau, who was 7 under yesterday, even par today. So no one's doing anything. And Tiger Woods was even par. The lowest round, you had a 3 under. You had a trio of 2 unders, a few 1 unders, and those even. So Tiger Woods had a top 10% of all golfers at Augusta today round. He does that tomorrow and Sunday. He might be in this thing. I don't know if he can do it physically, but when you compare apples to apples, his round today compared to the rest of the field, top 10, 12, 15% best rounds played.
Yeah, I mean, and like you said, what he's dealing with his leg, with his back. I mean, he's had a spinal fusion. He's had ankle fusion. I mean, the injuries and what he's dealt with does not lend itself to professional sports, even golf. I get it, golf's not football, but nonetheless, with the velocity with which he has to swing the club and the amount of pressure and force that puts on his back. I mean, this is, a guy who amazes me every time he does it. Look, 24 straight cuts. When you think about that, that is 24 trips to Augusta, 24 cuts made. I mean, like Jordan Spieth is missing the cut this week. I mean, there's some really great players that have missed cuts before just because they got into a funk and had a bad week. Tiger, 24 straight trips, has never missed a cut at Augusta, which is remarkable today.
Bernard Langer's got a bad ankle. He didn't play. He's 60-something. Freddie Couples played. He's like 12 over, missed the cut. If you like old-time golf, Vijay Singh made the cut, Fletch.
Yeah, he's one here in New Orleans.
That's just kind of, interesting. You can always see what they do. When you're playing a course like Augusta that requires so much knowledge and finesse, the old timers can play good at times,
Go ahead. That's what they say, kind of game of a lifetime. So there's guys that can still get out there and do it into their 50s and 60s, certainly.
No doubt. Anything we missing in the world of sports?
No, I mean, the Pelicans are the big talk of the NFL draft, still a couple of weeks away. Zurich's a couple of weeks away. The Zurich field they got 5 of the top 15 in the world, and they're going to get another player next week that's in the top 10. So they're going to end up with 6 of the top 15 in the world. What I would love to see is somebody who's coming to the Zurich win the Masters. Like, that would be fantastic to say in 2 weeks, we've got a Masters champion here in New Orleans. So we'll see. I don't know who could climb the leaderboard this week. I know Morikawa was having a decent day. There were a few other players that are coming here that are near the leaderboard, but they need some strong finishes. So Zurich in 2 weeks, the Saints draft, but really our focus is a lot on the Pelicans and are they going to get into the playoffs or are they going to have to go through the play-in like they've had to the last couple of years, which doesn't always create a recipe for success.
See, in a normal day, you would have mentioned O.J. Simpson dying, but his legacy of being a murderer far outweighs his football prowess. I don't even think about that anymore. So I'm glad you didn't bring that up. Hey, would you go to Strawberry Fest? Have you ever been to Strawberry Fest in Ponchatoula?
I went once about 10 or 12 years ago because I had never been. I was always a French Quarter Fest person, and it always coincided. But I went once. It was, there were parts of it that were quaint and cute. I'm glad I saw it. I'm glad I went.
Yeah.
And, sure.
No, I went about 15 years ago. Same thing. I mean, I'm a city boy. It's family oriented. It's more like funnel cake and corn dogs type of festival too. It's sort of Americana, with the strawberries. Don't get me wrong, and some local items, but didn't you get that vibe? Very family oriented. I mean, it's nice. It's something husband, wife, Sally, little Johnny, the kids, right?
Yeah, it is. But you're right. That was the one thing about it was I think I was waiting for a little bit more of like that Norman Rockwell, like everybody making strawberry jam and preserves and pies. And we definitely had that. But you're right. It was also more of kind of just like a regular festival or fair with some of that stuff as well, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But again, I did it. It was fine. So it was good.
Fletch, we got some text that you're just standing outside of Rick's Cabaret. Are you actually going to French Quarter Fest, or are you going to be in Rick's Cabaret for like the next 8 to 10 hours straight?
Yeah, no, bad information. What's it called? I think that must have been,
the fake news.
Yeah, the trip with the third Mackel or something. And I'm actually outside of Johnny's Po' Boys here on St. Louis Street.
Wow.
Dipped off of the main drag to find some quiet.
And is Johnny's open right now? I mean, 'cause I think they shut down like 4 p.m. or something, don't they? 3 p.m.? Are they open, Fletch?
So, hello?
Yeah, are they open? Is Johnny's open?
They are not right now. No.
Yeah.
So
I haven't been there in years. When's the last time you've been in that joint?
It's been a while. When I first finished college, I worked for a real estate developer down here in the quarter, and I used to dip in there to get some po' boys. But it's not open right now. I'll walk past. I'll give you a full report here before I go.
Yeah, I think they close like 2 or 3 o'clock every day.
Yeah, look at it. I'm looking at it. They do 3:30.
Yep.
Close every day at 3:30. So there you go. They're open only 4 days a week: Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 8 to 3:30 every day.
8 a.m.
8 a.m. to 3:30.
Wow, I'm going to go get a po' boy one morning. Thank you for that information. Fletch, always a pleasure. Go enjoy French Quarter Fest.
All right, Cor.
That's Flecher Mackel.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
From the owners of Katie's in Mid-City and Bienvenue in Harahan, an old school deli with over a dozen specialty sandwiches. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
For over 120 years, New Orleans' very own Leidenheimer French bread.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you. It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa. And now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
What actually lasts a lifetime? Not much, but at Helm Paint, we have something guaranteed to last a lifetime. Benjamin Moore's Regal Select. This paint and primer in one offers cutting-edge waterborne technology, smooth application, and long durability. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, your New Orleans paint store.
My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day. By river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Bunch of emails. Corey, please, no more Flecher Mackel ever again on the program. That's crazy. I like the Fridays with Fletch segment. He's got good knowledge and isn't scared to give opinions. Fridays with Fletch. Coming up in the 5 o'clock powwow. I'm sad. No Frank Brightson. They're slammed at Brightson's. French Quarter Fest and the like, maybe even a little shorthanded. So Frank is not going to join us next hour. Big bummer. But he will be joining us next Friday. Michael Hect from Greater New Orleans Inc. will be with us next hour, 5 o'clock powwow. Still waiting on some crawfish dishes. I mean, literally, you think I'm kidding. When crawfish prices continue to go down and become larger and more plentiful, you'll see the crawfish egg roll at Brightson's, that appetizer. Fantastic. The crawfish etouffee appetizer is so good. After I ordered it one night, I ordered 2 of them to go a few nights later and ate it as an entree. Crawfish etouffee, real crawfish etouffee, not 99% of what you get out there that's just like boring and dull and not very much, of a dining experience. Brightson's crawfish and corn soup. And yes, I called La Boca exactly like Brightson's. Their crawfish empanadas, which might just be, it's like a, Argentine dish, might just be the best crawfish pie in the world. Ever. One of Chef Adolfo Garcia's chefs, this young lady, kicks butt and takes names when it comes to this dish in particular. I'm a native New Orleanian, 25% Cajun, Southeast Louisiana boy. You don't think I love a crawfish pie? The best frozen crawfish pie comes out of Abbeville. Wheatas on MLK. I would go there and get 10, 12 dozen ice chest, dry ice, bringing them back to friends. They have a chicken pie, a crab pie, and a shrimp pie. And I've had them all, but the crawfish pie is special from Wheatas in Abbeville. It might be under Cindy's now. Let me look that up. Because I keep it Ouidas. Yep, it's Cynthia's Crawfish Pies now in Abbeville on MLK. Now I got to call Cynthia because it's crawfish season. They're the best frozen pies. It's like a pizza dough, like about an 8-inch pizza dough or so. And then it's just this etouffee, essentially, just this orangey crawfish sauce full of Louisiana crawfish tails, too many to count. And then she just folds the dough over. So the pie ends up being about 4 or 5 inches across. It's about an inch thick, 1.5 inches thick. It's got a little hole in the middle. You just throw that frozen pie in the oven for 40 minutes, 45 minutes at 400. And it's just absolutely fantastic. The dough is great. The homemade dough is fantastic. So, yes, Cynthia's Crawfish Pies out of Abbeville by New Iberia, south of Lafayette. Best frozen crawfish pie, something you can put in, Ziploc freezer bags, Tupperware container, whatever. Put it in the freezer for weeks, months. Pull them out and throw them in the oven and heat them up, and they're fantastic. Like, I don't know anything that comes close to frozen. But the best fresh, chef-driven crawfish pie I've ever eaten in my life, ever. The crawfish empanada at La Boca. They're expecting to bring them back on the menu in a couple of weeks. So I'll go in there. I'm not kidding you. They'll probably have them for about 2 or 3 weeks, I'm guessing, maybe a month tops. I will go in there and get them as an appetizer and get like a skirt steak. And then I'll go back in there about 3 or 4 nights later and sit at the bar and get hanger steak with the empanada appetizer. And then probably a week later, I will get like a double order of crawfish empanada appetizers, like 4 total pies, and get it to go and bring them home and eat it as my entree, as a dinner entree one night. No, I get that fanatical about this stuff that I know is going away quickly, like it's seasonal. It's like, Creole tomatoes about to come online in a month or so. Vidalia onions about to come online. You get a little Haas avocado, some jumbo lump crab meat, a little olive oil, lemon, salt, cracked black pepper. You're ready to roll. No, when crawfish season, it's shortened. It's starting late. It's been hindered by drought. The crawfish are just starting to come online as far as size. It's all late. It's a shortened season. No, it's not going to be many weeks of crawfish egg rolls and crawfish and corn soup and crawfish etouffee at Brightson's or these crawfish empanadas at La Boca. So, yeah, I will go overboard and hit it as many times as I can because, poof, gone in a few weeks. Corey Johnson with you. Fantasy Friday edition of the program. How about Trey Yen tonight for dinner? You beelining across the causeway? Fire in a big to-go order at Trey Yen. You on the Causeway Bridge? About halfway across? 626-4476. Trey Yen in Mandeville can help you. Yeah. Give me the Tong Cho trout, the honey pecan shrimp, crawfish and lobster sauce. I'll take an order of spring rolls, some butterfly shrimp. Yes, I need some Tong Cho sauce. Combination fried rice. Shall I continue? Lemon chicken, fantastic. Trey Yen. Fire in a to-go order if you're on the causeway. What's that, Blue Boy? Curbside delivery. You don't even have to leave the vehicle. Or better yet, dine inside Trey Yen. Foot of the causeway for you North Shore folks. 25 minutes from Lakeside Shopping Center. Easy ride. Trey Yen in Mandeville. So good. What's that, Blue Boy? Folks need to stick around. The 5 o'clock power hours next. Blue Boy, I don't know how I do the program without your help, honestly.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 5 p.m.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
Hi, this is Joey Helm. My dad, Bunky Helm, had a vision of a locally family-owned store serving the residential and commercial paint needs of New Orleans. I think Dad would be proud of today's Helm Paint and Decorating, and here's why. We have the best technical staff in the business, providing the best color matching service in Southeast Louisiana. Perfect matching for any color and any brand. Then we'll save your colors so you don't have to save those old cans. Helm Paint offers free 2-hour delivery. Our in-store decorators will assist you on deciding what color and type of paint to best showcase your home. But most importantly, as your local independent Benjamin Moore dealer, our products provide the greatest value in the paint industry. Superior coverage, and Benjamin Moore paint simply covers better and lasts longer. New Orleans is a city of vibrant color, and no one else provides the paints of New Orleans like Helm Paint and Decorating. Visit any of our 6 locations or online at helmpaint.com.
Helm Paint, let us steer you right. Helm Paint and Supply.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
Ooh la Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh la Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
5 generations, family owned and operated. Leidenheimer French bread.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamar team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamar Ford. We became number one for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
You know, it's crazy. I mean, the Speed Racer theme song's on. Just 2 days ago, I got that twin blade thing installed in my vehicle, where those two big arms pop out the front bumper and these huge blades spin. And I'm not kidding. I was going down I-10 in Slidell. I just turned off I-10 doing like 70, straight into the woods. Took out all the trees, cut a clean path. It's pretty damn cool. Sort of Mach 5-ish. It is an option you can get on your vehicle at Johnny's Speed Shop on Williams Boulevard in Kenner. That's Johnny's Speed Shop, home of the IROC Trans Am, or the IROC Z, I should say, with the T-tops. It's a fantastic place. If you're still living in 1970, it's Johnny's Speed Shop on Williams in Kenner, brah. A proud sponsor of this program, old Johnny's Speed Shop. The corporal's at the controls. He's fielding your phone calls, 766-9480. On this Fantasy Friday edition of the program, I had a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate out there. A holdover question from Tuesday got answered yesterday. Why was French Quarter Fest started? David in New Orleans was like, French Quarter Fest started to lure locals back to the French Quarter. And that was the correct answer. But why did locals have to get lured back to the French Quarter? What drove locals away from the French Quarter 41 years ago? French Quarter Festival, day number 2. I got a little French Quarter Festival trivia. We know why French Quarter Fest was started now, to lure people back to the quarter. Why did they have to lure people back? Give me the answer to that. I got 50 big bucks for you at the Woodhouse. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. 766-9480. 75 degrees, blue skies, sunny, just 36% humidity. Are you kidding me? French Quarter Fest, 270 musical acts, 21 stages, 60, 80 different food and drink vendors. I forget the number. It's French Quarter Fest day 2. Outstanding. Chef Rob from Loretta's Pralines joins us from the river, from right by the aquarium. How you doing, Chef? What's happening out there?
Well, yeah, Corey, and I can correct myself on that, Corey. We're actually on the Coal Mire lawn, right across from the Aquarium of the Americas. Yes, sir.
Yeah, nice. So that would be like if you're coming from Jackson Square beyond the Waldenburg Riverfront stage, like heading towards Spanish Plaza, right?
That is correct, and that's where one of those several music stages are, and the multitude of food vendors, just like you said, Corey.
Yep, including Loretta's Pralines from Rampart Street. What's on the menu at Loretta's at French Quarter Fest, Rob?
We have our world famous stuffed crab beignet, Corey, which is just top, and we also decided to bring our praline beignet, where we take a beignet, we stuff it with our secret praline filling. Then we have the nerve to put a praline icing on top, and then we sprinkle it with a little powdered sugar, Corey.
Wow, fantastic. Chef Rob's with us from Loretta's Pralines. Still 2 locations, Rampart and 1 in the quarter?
Wait, I'm sorry. Say again, Corey?
Do you still have 2 locations, 1 on Rampart and 1 in the quarter?
Yes, sir. 2101 North Rampart Street, right on the corner of Rampart and Frenchman, and 1100 North Peters Street, right there across from the old Margaritaville.
Now, the original on Rampart, was it Binder Bakery across the street?
That's right. That is correct. Right across the street from a catty corner. That is correct.
What's in that place now, Chef?
So I could go ahead and tell you because it's all over now. That will be the Jam Nola location at the end of this year or beginning of 2025.
What's Jam Nola?
So I think they're actually moving. They're going to go from their current location now, and they're going to move right on the corner, right across from us.
I missed that bakery. That's good. And I missed your mom, Loretta. Boy, was she sweet. What a sweet lady.
Thank you so much, Corey. And let me tell you, Corey, we'll always have a special place for you at Corey. When you get off the air today, or if you can come through tomorrow, or even Sunday, Corey, we're here till 8. And guess what, Corey? You come through, and I'll give you the VIP treatment that you so and always deserve.
You're the man, Chef. What else is out there? What's in and around that area? What have you seen today at French Quarter Fest that you'd like to let the folks know about?
Oh, and Corey, I could go on and on, but I've seen a muffalata. I've seen the chicken wings. I've seen crawfish rice. I've seen crawfish bread. I've also seen a turkey leg. We have barbecue out here. I've actually seen Kingfish Grill has like this marmalade sauce with crackling toppings, and I've seen a whole fried grouper as well. So you're getting the best food that New Orleans has to offer, Corey, and it's all within what, Corey, maybe 16, 17 block radius?
Yeah, no, exactly. And it's all like $8, $10, $12. It's, you can't get it in the restaurants for those prices. It's as good as it gets.
Corey. You cannot beat the prices out here.
All local music, all local food. French Quarter Fest, north of 100,000, might be 150,000 folks out there. Huge crowds. Hey, Chef, any final thoughts, Rob?
I tell you, all your listeners, Corey, come on out. French Quarter Fest 2024. The weather is perfect, just like you said. We have some amazing food, amazing music, and Corey, the best thing about it, it's all local, it's all good, and it's free to get in, Corey. You cannot beat that.
No, you're right. It's free. No, it doesn't cost. You don't need to pay for a ticket. Rob Harrison from Loretta's. Thank you, Chef.
Anytime for you, Corey. We look forward to seeing you this weekend. You have a great weekend. I appreciate it.
I'll see you at Loretta's Pralines up by the river, right by the aquarium at French Quarter Fest 2024. Thanks again, Chef.
Anytime for you, Corey.
That's Chef Rob from Loretta's joining us live from French Quarter Fest 2024, where the weather is fantastic. Yesterday was great. Today is incredible. Tomorrow and Sunday, blue skies, no rain. Early morning, we wake up to high 50s, low 60s. And then we're going to creep. Tomorrow, the high's like 78. Sunday, the high's like 79. Just absolutely perfect weather. Exactly what the doctor ordered. French Quarter Fest in 4 days outdraws Jazz Fest in 8 days. Half the days, a few 100,000 more folks. Jazz Fest might do 500,000. French Quarter Fest might do 750,000 in 4 days. Literally. They averaged last year north of 150,000 a day. That's north of 600,000 over 4 days. Larger crowd than what Jazz Fest does over 8. Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Strawberry Festival in Ponchatoula cranked up this afternoon around 4 o'clock. They're rolling this evening. They go tomorrow all day into the night. They go Sunday all day into the night. Strawberry Festival up I-55 in Ponchatoula. From the Superdome, from the French Quarter, from French Quarter Fest to Strawberry Fest, less than an hour door to door in your car. Less than an hour. And 80+% of the ride is all interstate, easy. Elevated interstate, too. Get up on it in Kenner, and then I-55. It's about 30 miles of elevated I-10. Easy. Put it on cruise and chill. Yeah, Strawberry Fest in Ponchatoula. French Quarter Fest in the quarters. Yeah, you right. What a great weekend. And the weather has more than cooperated. This is get outside and enjoy it weather, not only because it's awesome weather, because we're on the tail end of this weather. We won't see this kind of weather again until like October. We're about to head into the heat and humidity season. Hey, if you missed the 4 o'clock hour, you didn't miss a damn thing. Flecher Mackel was with us. Terrible. Coming up in a few minutes, Michael Hecht's going to join us from Greater New Orleans, Inc., hopefully with some good economic news. Masters round 2 from Augusta. DeChambeau's still leading, but yesterday, he's 7 under par. Excuse me, DeChambeau is not leading anymore. Wow, Scotty Scheffler atop the leaderboard at 7 under. DeChambeau shooting 7 under yesterday, 1 over today. 1 over today. 90 golfers. You had 9 golfers under par. The low round was 3 under. A trio were 2 under. And then you had like 4 or 5 at 1 under. You had another 10 or 11 at even par. Tiger Woods was in that number at even par. Corey Johnson with you. Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Michael Hecht next.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, fuller part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. No AC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. No AC.com, your cool spot.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com. Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. It's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson back at you on a Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Hey, Baton Rouge, Helm Paint and Decorating has come to town. New Orleans' own Helm Paint and Decorating, over 55 years in the Crescent City. 7 locations in Metro New Orleans, East Bank, West Bank, North Shore. They literally have you covered with that Benjamin Moore paint. High quality Benjamin Moore, lifetime guarantee. Do it once, do it right. Never paint your home again. Helm Paint and Decorating, now in Tigertown. 4 Baton Rouge locations. And just like New Orleans, free 2-hour delivery of those Benjamin Moore paints. When you got to paint in New Orleans, when you got to paint in Baton Rouge, do it once, do it right. They will steer you in the right direction. Helm Paint and Decorating, now in Baton Rouge. Michael Hect joins us from Greater New Orleans Inc. What up, Miguel?
How you doing, my friend?
You want a little Helm Paint and Decorating story?
You know what? I always love a little Helm Paint and Decorating story. Please.
55-year-old company, 7 locations in Metro New Orleans. I mean, I go to Earhart. There's got to be 25 employees at Earhart. So I'm assuming there's 100 employees or so, maybe more within the 7 New Orleans locations. They've got 4 Baton Rouge locations, and they've got a dozen locations in Dallas Metroplex called Texas Paint. So they're doing lots of paint business and, taking care of New Orleans, Baton Rouge, and now Dallas. New Orleans people, New Orleans company. Pretty cool, Miguel.
Yeah. No, I love that. I love those kind of Gulf South mid-sized companies. I mean, those are kind of the bread and butter of the economy, employing hundreds of people, still rooted at home, not owned by some major multinational corporation or conglomerate. No, I'm down for Helm Paint. But I got to tell you something, KJ. I'm classing it up right now.
Yeah, you're in Washington, D.C. What's going on?
So I'm sitting here in the lobby of the Waldorf Astoria, the former Trump Hotel. And I think it's the kind of place that, I don't know, it's got Corey Johnson vibes to it. It's big, it's soaring, lots of gold and columns and fancy people from around the world. I don't know.
Are scantily dressed women attacking you right now? You said a Corey Johnson vibe.
They're thinking about it. They're considering. I'm feeling stalked in the best way.
Yeah. Order yourself a Colt 45 brand malt liquor. They'll come flocking towards you. Trust me.
Works every time.
It works every time, Billy D. Williams. You think Billy D. Williams had any problem with the ladies? Just 1 + 1 = 2, okay?
Yeah, Billy D. Life was simpler back then. What was it? There was somebody who said, man, he was talking to somebody, an older person the other day. He said, man, I was much happier being in my 20s in the 70s than I am being in my 70s in the 2020s.
Yeah. That's it. That's a good one. Michael Hecht's with us from Greater New Orleans Inc. What are you doing in D.C.?
Just meetings up here, having a bunch of meetings with folks, mostly about energy, trying to grow this idea of the energy economy for Louisiana. It's probably our best chance to pull the state out of the decades of slow decline. And so I was actually meeting with former Senator Mary Landrieu, who's been a leader on this, and some other folks at some of the institutions up here, talking about what we have to do to position ourselves as a state and as a country to really capitalize on the evolving energy landscape, it's a fascinating one, Corey. The energy demands are going to go through the roof for the world because of data centers and AI and EVs. And at the same time, we're trying to decarbonize. And, that's a pretty tricky combination to deliver. But we think that things that we're doing in Louisiana, like carbon capture, are part of the answer.
It's amazing, these huge buildings just filled with mainframe computers, how much energy they use.
Yeah, they take a ton of energy. And look, the reality is that, we don't have the capacity just to go to full renewables right now to service that because, one, we just don't. And two, we don't have the storage power. I mean, solar and wind is great when it's sunny and when it's windy. But if we can't store those molecules, or those electrons rather, for longer than a few hours, it's worthless. So there's a lot of stuff with battery technology we're also doing here in Louisiana with places like Advano in New Orleans East.
Yeah. Yeah. When battery technology improves, more superconductivity type stuff, it's going to change. I mean, I always tell people, Michael, I'm like, never in the history of mankind has any technology ever been withheld. I mean, when we were young, you remember it was they got the 200 mile per gallon carburetor. They got tires that last forever, batteries that last forever. No, they don't. They're not holding them back so they can sell us stuff that falls apart. They don't exist. When wind power, solar is the most efficient, best thing, we'll go in that direction. But right now, a drop of gasoline for, how much it weighs, what it costs to produce, how much, whatever
basically the energy efficiency.
The energy it produces is number one. It's not even close.
The answer in the midterm is probably hybrid cars. They're probably the real answer. This idea that we're going to go completely to EVs by 2030 is constrained by two things: physics and raw materials. The biggest problem is that the amount of copper that would be required to go full EV by 2030 doesn't exist in the world. We would have to double our copper capacity, productive capacity in the world, and that would take 30 years. So what I really want people to understand is we all want a lower carbon world.
Yep.
We all want sufficient energy, but at the end of the day, it's physics over politics. Physics is always going to win.
Yeah, it happens when it happens. Like I said, you can't come up with an example of any technology or idea that's been held back. And that's another thing. Usually when someone comes up with a great idea, there's a bunch of other people with that exact same great idea at the same time. I mean, look at World War II. British, Germany, same time, jet aircraft, like same exact time producing jet aircraft. So it's going to happen when it naturally happens. Hey, Michael, reducing crime is not going to naturally happen when it happens. You got to proactively go do something about it. That was what the NOLA Coalition was all about. Talk about just why the NOLA Coalition was formed and how crime has, I don't know if I want to use the word has plummeted, but boy, it is trending in the right direction, downward for the first time in a long time in just about every category. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, this is a story that I think we need to feel very good about as a community, because when we started the NOLA Coalition a little bit over a year and a half ago in summer of 22, we were going to be the murder capital of the country. It was a very dire time. There were also carjackings were skyrocketing, creating really a sense of terror on the street. You had stunt driving.
Yep.
We came together and we said, we need safety today and we have to invest in our kids tomorrow. Where we are today, we are basically down 55% better than we were back in the summer of 2022 across the four major categories of violent crime, which is murder, shootings, carjackings, and theft. This rate, at least if you want to look at the murder rate, is about twice as good as the national decline. So it's not like we're just moving with the national average. We're actually doing substantially better.
Yep.
Now, I want to be clear, Corey, it doesn't mean that we're good. We're still about 35% worse than we were in 2019, which was a record good year. So there's still a long way to go, but the trend is undeniable. Recruiting was actually positive this year for the first time since 2019, which is another part of the puzzle. And I just, I give a lot of credit to everybody that made this happen. I mean, you got to give credit to the mayor, what she's done by supporting the new police chief, the council for approving things like more money and technology, DA Jason Williams, the sheriff, what the governor has done, all the civic groups that have stepped in, including the NOLA Coalition. And then some of it's just the natural ebb and flow, the viral nature of violence and crime. But overall, we were facing a real crisis moment about a year and a half. I think the community stepped up, and I think that we should recognize that it means that we're not just all passive victims to what's happening in our environment and our community, but we can come together and, help push things in the right direction. I mean, everything aside, Corey, are you pleasantly surprised to see the improvement happening this quickly?
Yeah, it definitely is fast, Michael. There's no doubt about it. And it is pleasantly surprising because it's significant and it is quick. So, yeah, there's no doubt about it. I mean, I get those weekly blasts from Raphael Goyeneche at the Metropolitan Crime Commission. You mentioned those 4 categories. Homicides are down 43%. Shootings are down 43%. Carjackings are down 75%. Armed robbery, nearly 60% down. So, no, these are significant. We would be taking teen improvements, 13%, 18%. These are huge numbers. And like you said, sometimes double what's going on nationwide. Throw in a new state troop, 50 troopers. You mentioned the recruiting classes and the NOPD enrollment moving in a positive, not negative number. No, I mean, it seems like it's only going to get better too.
Yeah. So now what we're going to do this next year is really double down on the other part of our platform, which is investing in youth services. So raising more money and helping to organize and improve the nonprofit youth services community because, everybody, conservative or liberal, will say you can't police your way out of this thing. You just got to have kids who have more opportunity and make better choices.
Yep.
So this is things like mentoring, recreation, mental health services, and we're going to really focus on trying to bolster, that system over the next year.
I'll never forget Joseph Gow going to Kenner and talking about Obamacare. And he's like, no, I read it. And, telling the people how it is and them not wanting to hear it. I think about Jason Williams, Michael, and this is a guy who's a liberal Democrat, black guy in the community, the black, he when he ran, and I believe this in my heart, when he ran, he believed what he believed. And a lot of it was pretty extreme left, woke, almost criminal first, citizen second, all these things he promises. They're not going to have juveniles tried as adult, on and on and on. Then this guy, because he's smart and he's got common sense and he doesn't have some agenda where he's trying to appease and placate voters, he put a lot on the line. He said, you know what? We got a crime problem. I'm going to embrace with this governor, this right-wing extreme conservative governor, the right-wing extreme AG in Baton Rouge. I'm going to let the state police come in. I'm going to let them handle some of the, these cases. That was tremendous. I think old school, pure New Orleans politics, someone black or white, conservative, Republican, whatever, Democrat, they would have worried about their base and they're getting elected again and would have sold out. Instead, Jason Williams did some pretty brave, courageous stuff, in my opinion, saw the writing on the wall, embraced it, and a lot of his base is sort of upset about it in some ways. So, he's doing the right thing. I got to give him credit. I think it's easy to sell out.
I think what he did was practical. Some of it, of course, was motivated by personal experience.
Yep.
And I think that the majority of people are pleased with what they're seeing. I mean, Corey, you talk about the base and people being upset. I just don't believe in my heart of hearts that most New Orleanians are upset about, fewer carjackings and fewer shootings and fewer murders. I think it's not true.
No, of course
maybe
not.
It's a few privileged people who, find their moral indulgences offended. But I think for most true New Orleanians, they want to be able to make groceries or have their kids go biking without having to worry about it. And that's what we're getting to.
No, totally. It's where black and white, Republican, Democrat doesn't matter.
That's right.
And that's how it's supposed to be. Michael Hecht's with us from Greater New Orleans Inc. Every week he joins us on a Friday. Every week it's brought to you by Latrim, the global manufacturing giant. Latrim, they're hiring. You're looking for a new job. You're looking for a career. Dozens and dozens and dozens of job opportunities on Latrim's website. Go to it right now. Latrim spelled Laitram. The website is latrim.com. Hey, Michael, this got me, all rolled up. River District, one of the most important things in recent times for our city. I talk about transformative projects, Interstate Loop, a new Mississippi River Bridge, a Fortune 500 company, whatever. This is $1 billion plus new neighborhood, riverfront development that anyone that sees the renderings, you've got to be impressed. It looks like something you'd see in another part of the country, Seattle, Nashville, Austin, whatever. Was really miffed, vexed, perplexed that the council was still voting on Top Golf down there, but they did the right thing. A little shift to Melpomene Street, $50 million Top Golf complex. It's like the first domino moving for River District, right?
Yeah, it's unfortunate that we had to have this kerfluffle about it. Ultimately, it was, much ado about 150 feet of street. And look, I'm not saying that everything was done perfectly. It wasn't. There were missteps all around. But fundamentally, this project has to go through on its own merits and because of the signal that it would send to the world if, God forbid, it didn't go through. So I assume that everybody would ultimately do the right thing, and they have. And now we're in a much better place. And so I'm pleased with where we are. I'm pleased with it going forward. And, I'm here in D.C. right now. I think it's going to end up being like the Wharf District down here, one of the most exciting waterfront new districts in the country.
Yep. That Top Golf could open maybe by summer of next year, maybe in about 15 months. When will we see piles in the ground for, say, the new Shell building or some other housing or developments of River District?
I don't know, Corey. I got to find out when they're going to actually break ground on it. I think the Top Golf is going in first, and I believe it's meant to be open 2025. And that's important not just symbolically, but I think that starts the cash flowing, which is important for the viability of the whole project.
Boy, Ladder and Bloom, everybody in New Orleans knows that real estate company, gigantic. That New Orleans-based company got acquired by a monster, right?
Yeah, this one is it's a sad story because they're a truly great American company. But at the end of the day, this is the nature of the way things are happening these days. And we're seeing that, companies are getting acquired. And so I just want to express my appreciation for Bob Merrick and all he's done for so many years for this community. And just give respect, but also recognize that, this challenge is something that's hurting all mid-sized cities across the country. When they lose their headquarters, they're not just losing their top jobs, they're losing their civic backbone to some degree. And it's a national phenomenon. It's not just about New Orleans. And it just means we have to keep building new companies to replace them.
I mean, most of these 3,000 plus realtors for Ladder and Bloom will continue to be realtors, either for the new company Compass or they'll go somewhere else. What does it mean for Ladder and Bloom? Is it some high-end white-collar jobs that go bye-bye?
No, what's interesting, Corey, is that it doesn't mean the jobs go bye-bye. What it means is that anytime you've got a headquarters, you have a Bob Merrick with a Ladder and Bloom, you have a King Milling with Whitney Bank. And what it means is that they're the ones who are going to make sure at the end of the day that the city doesn't go under because their home and their business is located there. And so when you lose these headquarters, on paper, it doesn't look like that big of a deal. But the reality is that, you lose some of the top jobs so they get consolidated away eventually. You lose some of the philanthropy because you don't have, Bob Merrick was the first person who put in money to the NOLA Coalition, $500,000. But most importantly, you lose those civic leaders. They call it the civic elite, which is not an unalloyed good, but fundamentally means these are the people making sure that the politicians stay in line and the city doesn't go under. And that's the real risk to older mid-sized cities that lose their headquarters.
Michael, what's the result of this recent economic outlook and real estate forecast from UNO?
Well, the real estate thing is saying what we thought, which is that we're challenged right now by insurance. We're challenged right now by higher interest rates. But our downtown market is not as bad as it is in some places.
Yep.
And there's a lot of really good stuff happening in industrial and, a lot of warehousing and industrial, billions of dollars because of what's going on in trade and energy. So it's not great, but there are definitely communities that are in worse shape than us, I guess.
No, I mean, I was in Houston a few months ago, just in awe of all the office towers, hundreds of them. They got like a 30%, empty, occupancy rate problem right now. They're at like 68%, 72% occupancy rate on average. Not good. Not for Houston. Anyway.
Yeah, it's not great, but eventually we'll get the insurance straightened out, and eventually we'll get the interest rates coming down, and our downtown as empty as even places like New York. So overall, I think we're better. Sorry, I'm being protested out here, Corey. I don't know what they're protesting, but it's something I did.
Yep, I would think so. We sent them out there. Freedom of speech, First Amendment, Michael, deal with it. Hey, Port of New Orleans, St. Bernard, Louisiana International Terminal, Access Road. It's all going to go at the same time. $2 billion terminal. That Access Road, I would imagine, hundreds of millions of dollars, right?
Yeah, actually, let me tell you the funniest thing about that. So we had a meeting down there the other day. I wasn't there. And they were talking about all the jobs that the port's going to create. They were talking about how it's going to be so good for the community. But the thing that really got everybody excited was dead faces, dead faces, dead faces. And then somebody perked up from the audience and said, hey, if this port comes, am I going to get my Chick-fil-A? And our guy said, yeah, probably. And the guy said, well, then I'm for it.
Wow. That's true. Yeah, I know. I'm just not laughing because I know it's true.
That's exactly how it is, man.
Wow, unbelievable. Michael, any final thoughts until next Friday? I could throw the KJ specials, reimagining Bourbon Street, Caesars land-based casino, Monopoly Y, retention ponds,
Well, look, next Friday, I'm going to talk to you right before I go out to be roasted by Delgado Community College. So I'm going to encourage you and anybody else to come out, to go to the Delgado website and pay money so that Delgado can give scholarships and I can get humiliated.
Boy, I hope
win-win, right?
I hope Jeff Ross is involved in this.
Well, the problem I have, Corey, is that I want to do this real roast style, I want to kind of really take people down like Pete Davidson style, and I don't think I can. So I'm trying to figure out how to walk the line and still be interesting. I might need to counsel you on this.
Yeah, I have trouble with little lies and fabrication, to fake something. Who's that comedian from Tulane? No, from Tulane, Jeselnik. You familiar with this guy?
Yeah.
Anthony Jeselnik, I think is his name.
Yeah, he's funny. I know he's from Tulane.
Go with his approach. Look at how he approaches it. Very dry, very just blatantly attacking, but quick one-liners. It hits and runs. You're moving on to the next thing real quick before you have time to think about it too much and go, boy, Michael, that was mean.
Nice. Okay, I'm going to do that. I got my palms are sweating thinking about it. I'm kind of excited. So let me know if you want to go, Corey. I think I got a seat for you.
All right, that sounds great. Michael Hecht, you're the man. Always a pleasure. Thank you, brother.
Thank you, brother. You too. Talk to you soon.
That's Michael Hecht from Greater New Orleans Inc., joining us live from Washington, D.C. on this Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Thanks so much for joining. It's incredible weather. You can go to French Quarter Fest right now for dinner. They roll till 8 p.m. at French Quarter Fest, and there's no admission. So you spend your money on the food and drinks you want. And there's just so many, dozens and dozens and dozens of food vendors. And the weather is fantastic, and it stays light till about 7:30. So you got almost 2 more hours. You can go to French Quarter Fest when there's no admission ticket. Are you kidding? French Quarter Fest Day 2. Going down as we speak, outstanding weather, 75 degrees, 36% humidity. Just doesn't get much better than this. Tomorrow we wake up again around 58, 59, 60 degrees. Same thing on Sunday. Wake up, it'll be 58, 59, 60. Tomorrow we might hit 77, 78. Sunday, we might hit 77, 78, maybe 79, but no 80s in the forecast, not until next week. Sunny blue skies, low humidity. Get out to French Quarter Fest this weekend. Hey, Strawberry Fest going on in Ponchatoula this weekend. They just opened up the doors for that a few hours ago. They'll go into the night, tomorrow evening, Sunday evening, Ponchatoula right up the I-55. From French Quarter Fest to Strawberry Fest, about a 55-minute drive, less than an hour. So you can check out some Strawberry Fest and grab you some strawberries. Boy, I have probably eaten, I'm not kidding you, probably grabbed about a half dozen pints of strawberries, and I get like, if it's me and someone else, we'll knock out the whole pint. But if it's just me, I'll get 2 servings out of it, and then I get like a can of Ready Whip, and I spray about a quarter of the can on top of the strawberries, and it's just, strawberries are incredible. Like not a lot of white in there, like reddish maroon throughout the whole berry. Just so juicy. It's tough to beat Ponchatoula strawberries. This is where strawberries grow best. Florida grows strawberries. California grows strawberries. I'm glad to have them in the off season when we don't have our local stuff. When we got the local stuff, I'm buying strawberries like crazy. It's just a great dessert. It's a great dessert. Strawberry Fest going on in Ponchatoula tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday. What a week. So glad to wind things down on a Friday with Fridays with Fletcher Mackel joining us last hour. Just visiting with Michael Hect from Greater New Orleans, Inc. Normally, Frank Brightson would join us, but 2 things, shorthanded, coupled with French Quarter Fest in just a packed house, he couldn't do it tonight. Brightson's over there in the Carrollton neighborhood, the Riverbend, where Lebanon's Cafe is located. Lebanon's Cafe. Outdoor dining tonight. Are you kidding me? Does it get any better than this weather? Under the big green awning, under the oak trees, enjoy shish kebab and lamb chops and Middle Eastern sides. Carrollton at Jeanette, right by the streetcar barn. Tonight for dinner. They're open till 9:30. Lebanon's Cafe.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Go to AC.com, your cool spots. Go to AC.com, your cool spots.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
For over 120 years, New Orleans' very own Leidenheimer French bread.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Which Metro New Orleans area restaurant made CNN's top 50 in America and ThrillList.com's top 25 and has served presidents at the White House for over 40 years? Trey Yen in Mandeville.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
5 generations, family owned and operated. Leidenheimer French bread.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Yeah, you right. Fantasy Friday edition of the program. 5 o'clock powwow. You know what we forgot to do earlier today, Corporal? Yep. We forgot to blow the 5 o'clock whistle. We're only about 50 minutes late on that bad boy. Let's crank it up anyway. Hit it, Corporal. Why do we blow the 5 o'clock whistle? Well, we usually blow it like right when we start the show, about 6 minutes after 5 p.m. I usually say it's a little bit after 5 o'clock. For most of us, 100% of the work week's in the books. For most of us, 100% of the weekend is in front of us. That's why we blow the 5 o'clock whistle. And then I say the 5 o'clock whistle appropriately. Brought to you by Katie's in Mid-City, the quintessential New Orleans neighborhood restaurant. Pels on the flat screen tonight at Katie's. Pels at Golden State. They'll be on the flat screen at Katie's. Pels at the Smoothie King Center Sunday against the Lakers. Flat screens at Katie's. Big portions, great for sharing while you're checking out sports action. Iberville, corner Talamacas. Katie's, as New Orleans as it gets. 5 o'clock whistle brought to you by Katie's. About 50 minutes late, Corporal. Better late than never, right? I like the 5 o'clock whistle. I smell the roses, put a spotlight on this very time because it's like a little limbo period, you know? We're like excited it's Friday and we don't really think about it. It's like, yeah, think about it. Embrace it. I do. I like that it's Friday. weekends in front of us. Plus, the weather is absolutely fantastic, as good as it gets. It's 75 right now. It's 36% humidity. Makes you want to throw down coals or light up the gas, do some grilling, boil some crawfish, get outside. So nice. You know what else? We got Strawberry Festival in Ponchatoula besides French Quarter Fest. Masters round 2. Today, the course conditions were brutal. 90 golfers played. 70 were over par. Tiger Woods was even par today. Tiger Woods is 1 over for the tournament, or about 7 shots out of the lead. But he had one of the better rounds today. The best round was 3 under. You had 2 guys that were 2 under. You had about 4 or 5 guys that were 1 under. You had another 10 or so that were even. The other 70 were all over par. Tiger Woods was in that group of even. So top 10, 12%, 15% of everybody playing today, Tiger Woods had one of the better rounds shooting even par today of all the players. So if that continues over the next 2 days, Tiger Woods would creep up the leaderboard. But that has to continue. The play that he's been playing, that has to continue the next few days, how he's been playing. And then is he physically going to hold up? I mean, earlier today, literally loosening his pants and taking just blobs of icy hot and rubbing it into his hip, into his back, while on the course. So Tiger Woods is in a lot of pain, back fusion, ankle fusion, almost lost his leg in that car accident a few years ago, and still able to play some pretty darn good golf. No, I mean, who would not like Tiger Woods to go shoot like a 64 or 65 tomorrow and be in contention on Sunday? Are you kidding me? Who would not love that? Talk about an injection for golf. Talk about like doubling the ratings of already a major, the Masters, Augusta, like doubling the ratings. Amazing. Corey Johnson with you on a Fantasy Friday edition of the program. I mentioned the weather and maybe boiling some crawfish. Rouse's Markets, over 60 Rouses, just about each and every one of them, boiling crawfish all day long at their Rouses. So you can go in there and get hot from the pot, ready to eat, boiled crawfish from your Rouse's Markets. Or you want to boil them yourself, live by the sack crawfish, probably pulled out of Southeast Louisiana ponds this morning, literally. That's how they operate. No one sells more South Louisiana crawfish live by the sack. No one sells more hot from the pot, ready to eat South Louisiana crawfish than your Rouse's Markets. Best quality, best selection, best price. It's crawfish season. Rouse's Markets, they got you covered. Boy, we opened up the last hour too, going down to French Quarter Fest. Chef Rob Harrison from Loretta's Pralines joined us live from French Quarter Fest. They are rolling down there. Huge crowds. They're expecting, like last year, they averaged north of 150,000 a day. It was probably 100,000 plus on Thursday, 150 or so on Friday, and like $175 or so on Saturday and Sunday. I wouldn't doubt if you have a crowd of that type, 600,000-700,000 over 4 days of French Quarter Fest, especially with this outstanding weather, blue skies, sunny, not hot, low humidity through Monday, past the French Quarter Fest. So that festival is going to have a great year, as is Strawberry Festival going on right now in Ponchatoula tomorrow and Sunday too. Yeah, you right. Hey, over the weekend, grab some Leidenheimer French bread. Leidenheimer Baking Company, baking French bread in New Orleans since 1896. If you're getting a real New Orleans po' boy, or maybe dining at a fine dining restaurant, it'll be Leidenheimer French bread. Leidenheimer Baking Company. What's that, Blue Boy? Thank the corporal for running the controls. Thank everybody for watching and listening. Have a great weekend. Hit the French Quarter Fest, Strawberry Fest. Check out some Masters Golf. See you Monday, 4 o'clock. Go Pels!
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 6 p.m.